That's true.
And that's Mike.
And I'm Casey, and this is Navi.
That is Casey and Navi. Welcome.
There you go. Okay, you're free. Oh, she's gonna jump down. She's not happy. Bye.
So Navi is a cat.
Yep.
Owned by Casey Bechler, and Casey Bechler is a skateboarder who got a start on YouTube in 2011 and became part of Revive Skateboards. Outside of his YouTube channel and working at Revive, you can find Casey streaming as Crossing Casey on Twitch, where he has built a community of nearly 4,000 followers who share his love of gaming. Follow the links in the description to check it out and watch his YouTube channel for more skating and gaming content. Casey, thanks so much for your time today.
Of course. I'm excited to be here.
I'm glad that
That's
Navi
awesome.
made an appearance because we talked a lot about her right before we started recording.
Yeah, she was here for like 15 minutes, and then she had her cameo, and now she's gone. That's her. That's all she could afford.
And it was an interesting fact before we started is this cat was not around the last time you posted a YouTube video. So for those who are listening that are YouTube based, this is an interesting one for us.
Yeah, it's definitely, I just think if you go back to my last video, it was a sponsored video that I did for the desk that I'm using right now. And that was it. And then like even my last video, I was like trying to cross promote my Twitch channel. So I was like really already like, if you look at my last like 5 uploads, I was really trying to promote the Twitch. And then I just went full Twitch.
You had to rip the Band-Aid off at some point, right?
Yep.
So let's start with growing up. So you're born and raised in Ohio.
Yep, Columbus, Ohio.
In Columbus. And so what came first in this scenario of life for you? Was it skateboarding or video games?
Probably video games. Yeah, the earliest like time, there's this picture of me when I was in like 6th grade that my sister took of me when she was in high school for a photo class, and I remember these like pictures, and it was like one of the first skateboards I ever got, and I definitely played video games before I was in 6th grade. So there's old home videos of me like playing Killer Instinct on the Super Nintendo and like Super Mario World and stuff like that. We had a little Sega, it was like a handheld Sega device, maybe I forget what it was, Game Gear, I think is what it was called.
Game Gear.
We had a Game Gear and it had Sonic on it, but like those are like my earliest memories of games that I played. But so I guess that would definitely come first, and then skateboarding was probably like 5th, 6th grade. I would imagine. So
okay.
And
what was? Go ahead,
Mike. No, you got it. You got it.
All right. So what was the draw to start playing video games first, and then what was the draw to the interest in skateboarding?
You know, it correlates probably a lot more than I thought. Now that I'm like, because I've never really thought about this, but probably Tony Hawk Pro Skater, playing that when I was younger. That probably, I mean, I think my family just had gaming systems like because I'm the youngest in my family. I have 2 siblings, and them being older, they were probably around like 10 or 11 or something. That's just like video game time for them. Like they had the Super Nintendo and PlayStation 1 and stuff that I just played on. But I probably played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on the PS1, and then that I just had always been into skateboarding. And then probably Tony Hawk's Underground, or no, it was Underground 2, had like Bam Margera in it, and I would watch Viva La Bam and stuff like that, and it probably got me into skateboarding from that. So there's probably just a point where it like gradually faded in. Like I got like, my first skateboard was a Hot Wheels skateboard. It was a blue and orange one that I ever got, or that was like the first one. But it was like a really crappy, like probably like Walmart skateboard at the time or something. But I don't know. I don't remember a time where I was like, I'm going to start skateboarding. I think it just kind of gradually went into my life, and then I just kind of kept doing it.
That first level of Tony Hawk Pro Skater,
oh yeah, where you drop down into the little ramp and
yeah,
bust the glass.
That is like the most iconic thing. Yeah. It's like burned into my memory.
Oh yeah,
it's so good.
The remasters that they came out with last year are really good. The
really?
Remasters of Tony Hawk 1, Pro Skater 1 and 2, super good. Same soundtrack.
Soundtrack was insane. I'm gonna have to write it down. Yeah.
I've been wanting to reinvest in a bunch of old PlayStation 1 games, or if you have a
PS4 or 5, you could just get the remastered Tony Hawk ones. But there was a time that like a couple years ago, I went to like an old shop that had a bunch of old video games and stuff like that, like a retro store, and I bought like a GameCube, because the same thing like with you, Drew, like how you want to go get one. Like I was like, I just want to get a GameCube and play some of the old games. And then I have it, but I don't really touch it. I just kind of have it as like a collector's thing now. But
I have my N64 right on the other side of this set here, and that was the first game system I got.
Yeah.
And the first game I got was Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and that led me in the same kind of direction that you went with skating.
Yeah.
Interested in it, then started skating with friends. So you're 5th or 6th grade. How does someone transition from a Hot Wheels board to going to skate parks and then eventually leading you down a deeper path of wanting to become like a sponsored skateboarder?
I had a neighbor, his name was Jim, who went to a skate shop, or maybe he was just at a garage sale or something, but he came home with like, I think it was just like a shop complete board or something like that, but it had like the good bearings and like the good wheels, and it had their stamp and shape. It wasn't just flat. Like you could tell, like when you're holding a Walmart board versus like a good, like quality $100+ skateboard, it's like you can definitely tell. And he got me one of those, and all I did was just sit on my butt, and I went down the driveway, and that was it. But it was still fun. And the transition, like that got me more into it, like where I was getting to a point where I could go to skate parks and stuff like that. I had a friend, his name was Spencer, and he lived through, like, if you like went behind these like houses in my neighborhood, you'd cut through a park and then go through a couple more houses, you'd be at his house. And he was like the all-around sports guy. He did rollerblading, he did scootering, bike, BMXing, skating, he did gymnastics. So he had like this whole little setup at his house. Like anytime I would come over there, he just had some crazy obstacle set up for us to skate, and I skated with him all the time. He was like the guy who I always like looked at, and he was like the rival, like in the Tony Hawk games, like in Underground and stuff like that. I was like Spencer's so much better than me. I like all these things. I was like, I have to be as good as him and stuff like that. So but I definitely skated around with him. And then it wasn't until like probably honestly like maybe like late middle school to early high school is when I got to go to a skate park for the first time. Just because I didn't really know of any around me. And then as I kept up with skateboarding, I'm sure I just talked to friends at school or something. They're like, yeah, there's a skate park over here. And my mom would just drive us and drop us off, and then I'd stay there all day, and then it'd take me home. They'd come pick me up and I'd go home. So yeah.
It sounds like it was, if I may, pretty recreational for you back then, at least at that age, or maybe like turning it into sort of a passion, stuff you do with friends. Sort of where I'm getting is, did you ever imagine yourself becoming a pro at that age? Was that ever a goal? Was that ever a sight back then?
The thing is like thinking about it now, like being an adult and the idea of like being pro and learning about the industry and stuff like that, it's kind of just like, when you learn more about the job that you're in, you're kind of just like, well, maybe you don't really want that and stuff like that. But like I said, I watched Viva La Bam. You'd see like Life of Ryan Sheckler. He'd like have like all the glam. He'd be winning X Games stuff, and like I'd see all that stuff and be like, oh, look how much money they're getting. This could be a full-time thing. But in reality, they're just the people getting paid because they have TV shows and stuff like that. And I mean, if you're as good as Nigel Houston, who's just gifted at skateboarding and winning street league contests all the time, like then clearly you're just good at skateboarding, and you have like, I don't know, like he's just good at skateboarding. He can win anything. But there was never a point where I was thinking like, oh, you know what, I could become pro one day. But I did get one clothing sponsor, and I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. But other than that, then it just kind of faded from there until I met the Revenge people. So
no, that's really cool. That's really impressive though, to garner the attention of
it wasn't
a company,
like,
at least.
It wasn't a skateboarding company really. They were kind of just like, I think they were just new in Columbus. I don't even know what they do now, but I think they like, I had a friend who knew of them, and they're like, yeah, they're gonna get some skateboarders, but like really they were kind of more into the music scene of stuff.
Okay.
And I think they were just trying to find people. I think at that point I had like an Instagram, and I had a couple of good like 1,000 followers or something. They're like, yeah, you just promote this, and I'm like, okay,
gotcha.
And I got 2 shirts, and that was it. So I was like,
I gotcha.
I was like, look, it was like my first package. I was like, this is so cool. But yeah,
T-shirts more than most people in
yeah. I mean, I was still hyped on it. So
yeah, you should be. That's a pretty sweet thing to get.
Yeah.
Any gift like that or any sponsorship is something that's powerful.
I was very happy.
More than I ever got from my dream of becoming a professional surfer. So
Yeah, that's true. but the benefit is you can still skate today, and you can still surf today, and you can still have just as much fun as you did when you were trying to, growing up. That's the benefit. I love all of these. So you graduate high school, you're still skating.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Ohio University in Athens, Ohio.
That is where I went.
And you study retail merchandising and fashion product development.
RFPD, yeah. I went there with the intent of getting a business major and then opening a skate shop. And then kind of like what I said a little bit ago, where I was like learning more about the industry, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to open up a skate shop. I was like, skate shops aren't like, I mean, we do our best. Like I Revive, like Andy in every video, almost like everywhere else Wednesday, he'll be like, hey, go support your local skate shop before even considering buying from us, or tell your shop to like ask us to carry their gear. If not, we're here for you. That's like what Andy says at the end of almost every video that has skateboarding in it, at least. But yeah, I went to college because I wanted to be a business major to open up a skate shop, because I was like, kind of like how you asked me, I was like, do you think you'll be pro? In my mind, I was like, I like skateboarding, but I don't think I'm good enough to be pro. So at least I could still be a part of the industry. I was like, I'll open up a shop or something like that.
Yeah.
But then it just kind of like, as I was taking the classes and stuff, I was like, and just kind of learning, becoming more of an adult. I was like, I don't want to own a skate shop or own a business that's like of that structure or something like that. So I was like, I can't. I was like, I don't want to go searching for like an area to open a shop in. Like, I don't want to do all that. So I just kind of, I was picking retail merchandise because I was like, maybe I could find a company that's in the skate industry and I could sell retail with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. The more I think about it, I just kind of got lucky with where I ended up. Things just kind of fell into place. So
yeah, and so you study that. I like the idea though that you have to become like a merchandiser for a brand, because yeah, that'd be a really fun. I looked at some opportunities like that were open when I graduated college too. I applied to like 100 jobs. I got like none. So that's the reality
it's
of
tough.
it. But yeah, but I didn't have that degree, so I'm sure that would have been cool to go into, but it would have been a different look on the industry, because you would have seen the giant side of the industry versus like where you were maybe a small shop or something like that. But that's a very good observation for a college student. But I think that's a great observation that you learn going to college and seeing the business side of what you're learning, you know?
Yeah. Just about, you mean like how of like learning about like the business side of skateboarding and stuff like that? Like not wanting to open up a skate shop and all that?
Or like the economics of actually owning a small shop and having to do all these things. And you're like, you start to like build little business plans in your head and you're like, maybe that isn't exactly what I want to be
there's
doing.
tons of successful skate shop stories. I know TriStar, I think it's called TriStar Skates in Cleveland. They like, I kind of watched them. My friends who were from Cleveland, who I met in college, I went to Cleveland a couple times with them, and I saw their shop when it was really tiny. And then I followed them on Instagram, and they just constantly uploaded pictures of like, we're expanding. We now have a skate shop. We now have a skate park. We have lessons that we do all the time. And Escapist is another popular brand that Sean Malto rides for, which I'm sure having a person like Sean Malto who rides for your company and reps it so hard is very good too. But those are like the success stories that you see. But like that's probably like the 1% out of, and then there's 99% of skate shops that are just like struggling, you know? But yeah, I definitely just kind of was thinking about it, and I was like, I don't want to be a part of the 99% who's maybe not doing too well, but there are a ton out there.
That's got to be hard too, because you start to get yourself, at least if you're one of the 99% that's struggling, you like get yourself into a catch-22, and that you like got into this to, you know, follow your passion of skateboarding, but then your time just totally switches over to staying afloat as a small business, to the point where I can totally see how it would take away the allure to working in skateboarding, when at the end of the day, you don't have time to skateboard really. And it's just struggling to stay afloat.
Reality sets in for a lot of like dream type job scenarios, like having,
I always thought that with
working
like
in your passion.
a restaurant or something, like like a small bakery or something would be really cool. It seems very romantic on the surface. It'd be great.
Coffee shop is always in my back of my head. Like, it's like, I want to open up a coffee shop
or something like that.
Drew wants to
then you realize like
restaurant.
That would be so cool.
What kind? What shop was it?
It's like a Brazilian bread.
That would be fantastic.
They're so good. And he has
Although
great
my girlfriend has a gluten allergy, so I'd have to ask you to make gluten-free stuff.
They are all gluten-free.
They're perfect. All right, you got to open up that shop then.
You should check out Brazzy Bites. They're available at like a traditional grocery store. And they're very good, and that's like a generic brand of the bites.
They're super cool too. It's super simple ingredients too. It's like cassava flour, which is like yucca root, and then just like eggs and butter and cheese.
I'm always
super
down.
Delicious.
All the recipes that we've tried since I've been like eating her type of meals, I've liked them all. So
yeah,
these things will blow your mind. They're really good.
Yeah. So Ohio University in Athens, Ohio. you get your degree there, and while you're at university, you're still skateboarding, and
Yeah, I met a lot of really good people there who progressed my skating a lot. Like I was kind of at a point um, at college. If you hear my cat playing with her toy in the background, there she is.
I think
Hello.
my dog's about to do the same thing.
Yeah, no, when I was at OU, I met my friend Doug Narens, who was, I think, I was a freshman. Was that how it was? I might have been, no, I was a freshman when he was a junior in college. And then I think I was just out. I was the new student at a college and I was skating by myself and I just saw a couple skaters go by. And I think either I approached him or he approached me because we didn't have a lot of skaters in Athens. But we just kind of skated together. There was like a good like group of like 7 people who skated. And that was like the first time where I met a group of people that were like the stereotypical, like we have a filmer, we have a photographer, we go to skate spots around here and we skate around. I was like, this is actually, I was like, this is cool. I was like, this is like what I see from other skate videos of like a group of people. Cause when I was in high school, there was no filmers. Like I think I had a buddy named Patrick who filmed, like he had a little handy cam and he would film funny YouTube videos and stuff. But other than that, like when I got to college, it was like the first time that I like was meeting and progressing skateboarding at a much more rapid rate than when I was in high school. So
I want to pull the thread on that a little bit because you talked about your friend Patrick and he was filming with like, I don't know, probably like a DVS or little micro tapes. And so he was posting to YouTube then. So you were already into the YouTube circle before you had started posting yourself. So like, what was your first recollection of like using YouTube as a medium?
Probably that back then, because he would try to mimic a lot of the barracks stuff, early barracks things. Do you guys know who the barracks are?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like early barracks, they had a series called Wednesdays with Retta. And he liked that guy a lot, who was like the filmer, like the photographer, who would just be like comedy almost, hanging out with the skaters. And Patrick was like, he skated and he was good, but he wasn't as good as like me and like my friend Zach and stuff. And he would skate. We'd all go around to skate parks when we were in late high school and we all had our driver's license, and he would film those type of videos. And they were just fun. Like we would just goof around. He would edit them and we'd look back at it and think it was funny. And that was like probably the first time that I can remember where I was like super into the whole like uploading on YouTube and stuff like that. I had like a little, there's a part where if you go back on my YouTube channel far enough, where I had a phone with like a little attachment clip that like looked like a fisheye lens, and I would also try to film videos like that that were just like my friends and I goofing around and hanging around and stuff. So, but that was probably back maybe like 2000. What year would that be? 10 maybe was the first time that I was like uploading and kind of realizing how fun YouTube was, but it wasn't like serious. It was just goofy videos that I would like share on Facebook or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a different, I feel like the early, like 2010, 2011, 2009, early YouTube was very much just a time capsule for people.
Yeah.
A way for them to post videos for their friends and family, similar to what Facebook was before they added their video concept.
Yeah.
But, that's pretty interesting. So the change mainly was like you were just skating with a couple core friends, maybe a guy who had camera, and now you're skating with more or less like a skate team style kind of.
Yeah, it was more like traditional skateboarding, not like YouTube side. I was like, he had like a huge like fisheye lens, like I know like big one that was probably like $2,000 just in the lens alone or something like that. Yeah. And he would film all of us and stuff like that. And there were just a couple of like ledges and stair sets around Athens and stuff like that we would skate around. But yeah, we would film there, and there was he was filming a video and he filmed like a couple tricks of me for it, and he was like, do you want to have like a friend section in it? So I gave him like, he filmed me like doing like 3 clips, which I ended up giving to Andy later on on YouTube when he was like promoting stuff about me. Like he had like a little like he was promoting my YouTube channel early on, and he was like, do you have any skate clips? So I hit up my guy from college. I was like, hey, do you have those clips of me? And I gave him to Andy and stuff like that. But yeah, like all those, if you find early videos of me on Andy's channel when he was like promoting my YouTube, those clips were from when I was in college, when I was in there. There's like a clip of me skating an 8-stair that I kickflipped like 3rd try, and it was like the coolest kickflip that I've ever done. Because like we went to a skate park, the like a couple days before, and they had like a little force there that I was just kick flipping over and over again because I knew I wanted to kick flip the eight stair. And I just did it over and over and over again. And I was like, all right, we're going to go film this tomorrow. And I just pretended I was at the skate park, and I rolled up and I landed it. And my buddy Doug, who I was talking about, rolled around the corner to skate the stair set with me because he was going to film something. And he was like, what did you just do? I was like, I kick flipped it. And he's like, I thought you were just warming up and you ollied it. And I was like, no, I rolled away. And then I just stopped. That was like the biggest thing I've kick flipped. And I just had that was a cool moment in college. So
that's a good way to look at skating too, is like, think of you're at the same place that you just did it the other day. I've never
I still do that.
Yeah,
there's been times where I'm skating like or trying to get a trick like in the skate park or something, and I'll be like pretend I'm at like a contest and I have like this is my last try to do it, or like the cops are coming, I'm about to get kicked out, like this is my last try, and then that usually makes me commit a little bit more. So
yeah, especially the access that you have to a skate park now, it could get to the point where you're just like, you know what, it's not gonna happen today. I have every other day to do this.
Yeah.
So no,
I try not to let that affect me too much.
Yeah. So I was looking at your college, Ohio University, and there's some pretty prominent people who went to this school. Like Paul Newman went there, Ed O'Neill, the dad, not the older dad from Modern Family.
Oh, cool.
Mike
I don't
Schmidt.
watch that. I know it's a TV show, but
yeah,
that's cool.
I've only watched the first season. Mike Schmidt went there. He's a Phillies pitcher, a baseball player. I don't know if he was a pitcher. And then Logan Paul also went there.
Yeah, I was there when Logan Paul went there.
Interesting. So
yeah, he was a character there. He was, because I mean, Logan Paul nowadays he's calmed down a bit, which is weird to say because he's like, I don't know how old Logan Paul is. I feel like he's around my age, maybe a little younger. But like, even then, when you're in college, like he was just like, I don't know. Early Logan Paul was a person I did not like, and I guess Logan Paul now is I guess handle him now a little bit more. I still don't like him that much, but yeah, early Logan. There was stories of Logan Paul like because that was when Vine was popular, and he would like upload a Vine of him screaming in a Walmart and like sprinting down it, and I'd see it and I'd be like, oh, that's the Walmart around the corner at our school, because I was like I go there to like get food and stuff. So yeah, but I heard like, and no one really liked him at college. I just heard stories of people not really liking him that much. He was only there for like a semester and then he was gone. So
yeah, he was the last person on the scroll bar of their prominent people.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it's interesting.
Yeah, Logan Paul was there. He was on the same green that I was on my first year. So
hey man, it's something interesting, but I thought it was a weird person to be there. But so then you're in college, you start to post onto your own YouTube channel. This is where your YouTube channel changes.
That's about where I started.
And
trying very hard to promote it and get it going and stuff.
Yeah. And so
I don't know. Do you want me to talk more about that?
Actually, I have one other thing. So during college, you also had another job. So you worked at Pete's Coffee, and no. Is that where is that from? Oh, I downloaded a resume of you.
Pete's Coffee?
Maybe it was something else. Pete's something.
I worked at PacSun. That's a P.
Maybe I read it as Pete's Coffee.
Oh no! I worked in. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not Pete's Coffee. I worked at Tim Hortons Coffee.
Tim Hortons. Sorry. Tim Hortons. Yes, yeah. I had a total fart of that. Yeah. So
it wasn't that's where I got confused, because there was a coffee shop in Athens. It wasn't called Pete's, but in between my semesters of college, I'd go back home to Columbus and I'd work over the summers there at Tim Hortons.
Oh, okay.
So I would leave Athens, work there, and then like over the summer, because I had worked there in high school, and I was there for a long time and I knew what I was doing. So when I would leave to go to college and I'd come back and be like, hey, can I work here for 3 to 4 months? They'd be like, sure, because you know what you're doing, so we don't have to ask any questions, like you know how to do everything here. And I was like, okay. So I worked there between a couple, or like, I think my freshman and sophomore year during the summers I would work there, and then that was the last time.
Yeah, I think it went like for 4 years, it said on there. Sorry, yep. I definitely read Tim Hortons, but I just assumed from that area, I was like, oh, it's Pete's Coffee.
No, you're good. I couldn't believe that when you said coffee. I was like, I'd never worked at a coffee place when I was there for that many years. Yeah, no, Tim Hortons.
I would have also not underestimated me reading it as Pete's Coffee, and it was actually PacSun.
Yeah, it was Tim Hortons.
So Tim Hortons. So I want to think about or ask you about like working there. Did that also open your eyes to maybe I don't want to work in the industry, like owning my own small shop?
No, working there, I always saw it as just like, this isn't permanent. Like that was my high school job because I was a high schooler who needed a job to make money because my parents were like, you should get a job. So I never thought like that had no influence on my decision to like not be in business or anything like that. But I was definitely like, working there and starting to work there was when I realized, because I was just in high school, and after high school I would go skate with my friends and then come home and do homework and go to bed. But when I got a job, that's when I realized I was like, oh, I don't have time to skateboard anymore.
Yeah.
That was the time where I was just like, oh wait, this is what growing up is. And it's like, oh, all the things that you have the time for, it's gone. So maybe that had some influence where I was like, maybe I want to find something that's in skateboarding. That way I could like do it as a job and keep doing it. So, but yeah. Other than that, I mean, Tim Hortons, it was fine there. I remember when I first met and skated with Andy and We Want Revenge, I like 20 minutes beforehand I was at like working my shift at Tim Hortons, and I changed in the bathroom there into my skate clothes, and then I went to the skate park to meet up with them.
That's hilarious.
I was worried that they were gonna leave, but they came up because they're like, you know where all the spots are at OSU campus, and I was like, yeah. So they were waiting on me at it was like We Want Revenge 30 something, maybe like 29, but like the first time that I'm in there was like when they see me like, hey, this is Casey. I was like 20 minutes ago I was at work at Tim Hortons. So yeah.
Did you bring them coffee?
No, it was like the middle of summer. They wouldn't want coffee. I didn't even like coffee back then, and now I drink it like every day. So the entire time I worked at Tim Hortons, I didn't drink coffee.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't like it. It was gross.
And now you do.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, I have it every morning.
Yeah.
It's also part of growing up, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Becomes necessity rather than pleasure.
It's just warm. I like it. Makes me feel cozy, like I'm still in bed, but really I'm on the way to work. So
yeah. So then you transition into YouTube, and you're creating YouTube videos as a college student. And I want to kind of ask, like, what's that balance like? You know, you're posting on this social media platform that's not necessarily I would say like the main social media platform of college students, but putting your life out there.
I think so. The whole thing is throughout my entire time in college, I knew about YouTube because my freshman year, I had a roommate who was my friend from high school. And he talked about me more, like he talked about this now more as we grew up and got out of college. But at the time he was going through some stuff that I'm not going to like repeat here, but just family related things. I didn't know about it. I think it was like family and girlfriend related things that he just wasn't opening up to me about. And he like was just not happy. And one day like he snapped at me, and I thought he was just being mean to me. So I like snapped back, and there was like a whole semester where we lived in a dorm together, but we didn't talk to each other the entire time. So that entire time where we were both in the same room together, I was just headphones in watching YouTube videos. So that was when I was a freshman. And during this time, it was we were on quarters at the time. It was the last time they did quarters before they went to semesters, but it was our final quarter. And I was just browsing YouTube, and I stumbled across Andy's channel because I recognized the thumbnail. I was like, oh, that's a skate park I've been to. I should watch this. And then like that weekend, because the same reason, like I was in the fight with my roommate who I didn't want to spend the weekend with, I was like, I would go home a lot back to Columbus, and that's where our indoor skate park was in Ohio. I go there like 2 days later after discovering Andy's channel, and Andy's just there skating with everybody. And
no way.
I'm like, whoa. I was like, hey, I was like the fan that would go up to him now and be like, yo, I watch your YouTube videos. That's super cool that you're here. And he's like, cool, man. At that time, he had like 40 to 50,000 subscribers, maybe.
Wow.
And I was like, yo, that's so cool. And I would just see he had the same red shirt. You'd spot him a mile away. I was like, there he is skating and filming his videos. I was like, it's super cool. There's a clip of him skating the skate park. I'm not even in the video, like skating. You can just see me in the background, like walking by. And I'm like, I was like, oh, look, there I am. But no, like in terms of like YouTube during college, I don't remember how much I uploaded, how frequently I did back in the day when I was in college. I think I just uploaded when I could, because obviously you're a college student. I had to focus on that. But I tried to do it as much as I could because I knew it was important to, like, as a growing channel, like me trying to grow my YouTube. Because the second college is over, if my YouTube's not good, then I can't do anything, you know, like I have to get an adult job and go do, like, I don't know, like the whole 100 applications for a retail job. And
0 jobs.
Yeah, it's tough because they teach you all about that in college too. Like you talk to all your friends. It's like, yeah, I applied at this, and this, and just like, man. So like as I'm becoming a senior, I try to upload as much as I can because I know that clock is ticking where I'm not going to be able to as frequently. So, I think
you saw YouTube at that point already as like, I want to use this as an avenue to become my career.
Yeah. At that time, I mean, I saw Andy's success with it, and at the time, Sam Tabor, he had like he probably had like 9,000 subs, but at the time, like, I mean, he has 1 million now, but at the time, I'm like, whoa, he's almost at 10,000. Andy's almost at 100,000. I had like 500. I think there's a video of me in college when I was a senior. I uploaded a video called "Thank You for 8,000 subs," I think, and that was from getting so many shout outs from Sam and Andy and stuff like that. There's a video, yeah, it's my 8,000 sub or 9,000 sub video where I do like 8 tricks for 8,000 subs at the skate park or something. But yeah, that was.
You also have a message to your first 2,000 subscribers.
Oh God, I don't even want to. I don't remember what I said.
We could play that. We could play that for you.
Can you pull it up? I want to see what it is.
Yeah, I can. I can actually share.
Oh,
start to those who are not. It's 30 seconds. I don't know.
I did a 30-second thank you.
Yes.
Nice. At least I uploaded.
I'm going to start to those who are listening at this point. I'll describe to you. No, I'm just kidding.
Real quick, no, before you play that, 30 seconds was like, I mean, an average YouTube video back then was like 2 to 3 minutes. So like uploading a 30-second video wasn't weird. Now that I'm thinking about it, like you think nowadays it has to be 10 minutes or longer because that's like the way that you get ad revenue. But no, back in the day, it was like Andy and Sam and everybody, Alex, all of them, they would all upload like 2-minute videos because they uploaded daily videos. Because that was like the thing back in the day. Oh gosh.
Can you
look at that shirtless Casey? Yeah. Oh, that's the stair set that I kickflip down over and over again until I then I went and kickflipped the other stair set.
Oh, hold on. I gotta change the audio.
God, that part was so muggy and swampy. There's a reason my shirt's off.
I just want to say thank you to my 2,000 subscribers, and for all you guys, I'm going to kickflip.
Look, there's a revive sticker on the stair.
Oh yeah, look at that.
That's a revive one.
And this is the kickflip that got you to the 8 stair.
Is it a kickflip or a shove? I don't know what it is. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, it froze for me. Did it freeze for you?
Oh,
yeah, it froze for me too.
It froze for you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was a kickflip attempt. Can you see my screen now?
Oh right, I landed the kick, or I tried the kickflip. It's still frozen on me, like picking up my board.
Yeah.
But I remember exactly what that video is now. I kickflip, I don't land it, and I just look up at the camera, and I was like, "That was my thank you." I just thought it was funny that I didn't land it. So,
that's awesome.
I love the video though.
Yeah, I used to wear hats every day because I was self-conscious about my hair. I didn't like how it looked, so I wore a hat every video. So,
but that's funny that you mentioned that. It's funny that you mentioned that YouTube was so much shorter back then, and I think like all the most iconic YouTube videos for me are those short, like 30-second, minute, 30-second ones.
Yeah, the legendary videos.
So I was going to ask, if you were to explain YouTube to some extraterrestrial that had never seen or encountered YouTube before, what are some classics that you would show them to be like, this is very much indicative of what YouTube is? Classic YouTube videos from Casey Bechler.
I know which ones are classic, but I don't know if it's the one that I would show them. If I would have to go like, hey, here's the most popular YouTube videos, I would say like Chocolate Rain. I would say the dramatic hamster, which I don't even think is a hamster. The one that's like dun dun dun, it turns around really quickly.
Oh yeah.
Charlie Bit My Finger.
Yeah.
What are some other? The
David After Dentist is a good one.
Yep, David After Dentist, the evolution of dance. You know what I would do? I would show them that South Park episode that has like all the famous YouTube clips in it. There's a South Park episode where like they try to do YouTube stuff and they go to this like building and it has every famous like YouTube person in it.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Who's the guy that was like, leave Britney alone, dude? What's his name? He was like he was like mad that people were being mean to Britney Spears after she shaved her hair.
Perez Hilton, was it?
No. It was leave Britney alone. I remember him screaming that. He was like under his blankets crying. Like that was a super famous video.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. But if I had to show an extraterrestrial, if I had to show an extraterrestrial person a video, I would show them my channel and be like, subscribe, and then come to my Twitter.
That'd be a great way to do it. A lot of the original videos that you posted, and I say original, the ones from about 7 years ago, are within like less than a minute. Most of them are much less than 5 minutes.
Hey, you know what? I haven't looked up my own YouTube in so long. I'm gonna see what my oldest videos are too.
The first one is
from
Casey
June
Bechler
2011.
Dublin.
Yeah, the Dublin line. It's
Yep.
funny. So it's filmed vertically. I think I
Yeah.
remember that with the black bars. I
Yep.
watched Brandon Beeble upload a lot on YouTube, and he had all vertical videos, and I thought it was really cool and unique because everybody was uploading horizontal stuff. And that's when like the iPhones were like all being used to film skateboarding, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be different and upload vertical stuff too. So yeah, my Casey Bechler line at Dublin Skate Park. That was a tray flip, a kick flip, and a nose manual. And I still do all three of those tricks all the time.
And so
That's awesome.
you're looking at growing this channel, right? And you posted a lot. Like I'm scrolling pretty heavily, and I'm still in year 7 years ago.
Yeah.
So you were doing exactly what you needed to do to grow, and you watch the progression of like not just a picture from the video to adding an emoji and some lettering on there, and you see that progression. So where were you getting these kind of ideas of how to change the video style to go from vertical to horizontal, to add thumbnails, titles, and
probably when I met Andy and Sam and saw their side of it, because I would say like how I was talking about earlier, like the clips of just my friends and I goofing around and stuff where I wasn't taking it seriously, that was more like the barracks core skater in me. And then when I met Andy and Sam and saw that they were skateboarding for fun, and I was like, oh, I can grow my channel, that's kind of when like you have to apply the YouTube side of it to, you can still keep the content the exact same, but like if you want people to click on your channel and subscribe, you have to do that type of stuff. Otherwise, like there's like if you look at old videos of mine, like the thumbnails, like it's just a random screen grab from the video, because I didn't care at that time. Like I was gonna show my friends and share it on Facebook and stuff, and be like, hey, look at this quick little video I made, and so that you can post it on your Instagram or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. I just probably when I met Andy and Sam and everybody associated with Revive, Alex and everybody who was uploading, like I just did it because they did it, and I knew that's what you had to do. So.
And I wanted to ask too, how did you turn that initial meeting Andy, he was there 2 days after you discovered his channel, you happened to see him in the skate park. How did you turn that into building a friendship and a relationship with all those guys?
I had a phase where I wanted to buy local everything when I was a senior in high school. I was just like, I don't want to buy the most popular brand of things. I want to buy like my local skate shop skateboard instead. And when Revenge was starting, I was like, that's Ohio. I was like, that's close enough. I'm gonna buy this brand here because I think Andy had just started, like, I think he was selling like Revenge decks for a little bit at the time when I met him, because I would see like a Revenge deck at a skate shop and stuff, because they were already selling to shops and all that stuff around local areas. Actually, you know what? I don't even think they got hit up. I think they were traveling around Ohio, going to skate shops, being like, hey, do you want to sell our boards or something?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was in a phase of wanting to buy local stuff, and I was just a really good supporter of Revenge in the early days. Every time they would like launch something, I would buy, like I would have the little money I had in college, and I would put a little bit away for a board, and they'd give me like a little discount because I was like their friend who skated with and stuff. But that skate park I was talking about, where I met Andy and all the guys they hit me up on Facebook, I think. One day, because at that time I had a bunch of followers on Instagram for whatever reason. I don't know what it was, but I had followers on Instagram, and I don't know if you guys know the account Metrogrammed or Metro Skateboarding. It's a big, how many followers do they have now? I'm just gonna look this up real quick. Hold on.
Yeah.
Curious. Metro Skateboarding. They were a skate shop. They are 47,000 followers away from 1 million followers on Instagram.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Andy messaged me on Facebook saying, hey, my friend Joel is starting an Instagram. Can you shout out his Instagram? And I go, sure, I'll shout it out. And so I shouted out Metro Skateboarding's Instagram way back in the day.
Man, awesome.
And then I think every time I ordered a board from him, I would just message him and be like, yo, can't wait to get it. And then one day, Alex or Andy, one of the two, messaged me on Facebook saying, hey, we're coming back up to Columbus. Do you want to skate with us at Skate Naked? And so I skated with them there. That was just the name of the skate park. I don't know why it's called that, but it is. I met them there and we skated, and they're like, hey, if you ever next time we come to Columbus, we'll hit you up. And I think like a couple, like maybe a summer pass or something, they came up to Columbus, and I was still at that time buying their stuff if I could, if they had it in my size or something like that, like a skateboard size. and they came up, and that was that time where I said I was like leaving work to go skate with them and stuff. That was that time. And then at the end of that day, after the YouTube cameras were turned off and they weren't filming their We Are Revenge anymore, they're like, hey, if you ever want to come down to Cincinnati, you can come down. Alex is like, you can stay at my place and we'll just go skate for the We Are Revenge. And I was like, sure. And it was summer at that time. So that was the first time I drove down like 2 hours by myself, like with a friend. I didn't have like my like parents drive me down to like a skate park or something like that. Anywhere. I was like, I took their car and I drove down to Cincinnati for a weekend. And I skated with them. And I guess since from that time, whatever year it was in summer, when I went back to college, every other weekend, I would drive from Athens to Columbus and get my parents' car because it handled better on the highway. And then I would drive down from Columbus to Cincinnati. And then then at the end of the day, I would get there Friday night. So I'd go to classes Friday morning. After classes, I'd drive my car up to Columbus. I would take my parents' car, drive down to Cincinnati, get there Friday night, skate with them until Sunday morning. And then I would drive back to Columbus, drop off my mom's car, and then drive back to Athens and do college for a week.
That's a lot of driving.
Yeah, I did that every other weekend in college, my junior and senior year. Almost there, unless it was snowing pretty bad and I like couldn't go or do anything. Like there were some weekends I'd probably be there like 3 to 4 weeks in a row or something. But I tried to go there as much as I could. So, and Alex was always like, "Yeah, you can stay here." So,
how did that progress your skating?
I would say the most progression I got was when I was in college with my friend Doug. He was good at skating ledges, stairs, rails, and he taught me like there's a video of me like learning how to Smith grind on YouTube, and like I do that trick all the time now. Doug taught me how to do that, but he taught me a lot of the stuff that I knew how to do like ledge and rail wise. But I kind of like plateaued when I would go down and skate with them. Like I would just skate safely because I didn't want to get hurt and have to drive like all the way back up to Columbus and back to school and stuff like that. So I'd kind of skate safely when I was with them. I wouldn't progress too much, but
yeah.
Luckily the fun YouTube videos I don't have to try too hard for. So
yeah. And so that first year, 7 years ago, you got basically 10,000 subscribers in 1 year.
Yeah.
That was a very, very big year for you. And from there, it looks like that next year is where you started to get a lot of growth on your channel. And so what was the, how did you get the progression to 116 or 119,000 subscribers?
I think living with Sam after I was done with college, him and I lived together for a year. I became pretty well known on his channel. Because I was already a part of Andy's channel and stuff, and they would do like the occasional like, hey, send me some of your clips and we'll shout out your YouTube channel because I need an upload. And I'd be like, okay, obviously I'm always down for that because I want my channel to grow and I'd get some subscribers from there too. But I think like, yeah, I guess if that video I made in college saying like, thank you for 8,000 subs, 2,000 subs, whatever. If that was my senior year, I was probably leaving there with around 10,000 subs. So I think just living with Sam and consistently being on his channel and uploading on my own still, I was trying to get my little like group of followers too. Because they're kind of they all come from the same place. If they like Revive or something, then usually they kind of all branch out to all the people's channels and stuff like that. But yeah, I would say just that slow progression. I mean, I just kept doing what I was doing and like filming my day in the lives, things that I enjoyed filming and stuff, and just consistently uploaded. I didn't do a lot of the goofy things. Like I don't know what time period or like when it happened, but like when people started like stop posting skate stuff and like would do like the trick shots and all that stuff, that's more recent. But I remembered I had always wanted my content to be about the skateboarding for a while. I was like every thumbnail has to be something about skateboarding no matter what, because I was like how we talked about earlier, like the core skater in me still wants the content, even though it's funny YouTube with my friend stuff, like I still want it to be about skateboarding. So I think that's why my channel probably grew a little bit slower than the other guys' stuff. So
you definitely have that idea here, is like looking through the channel itself, a lot of skating thumbnails. And so then you hit 5 years, 1 year later, the journey for fingerboards, where you go to multiple stores to pick up fingerboards. That video breaks your channel basically, because before that you maybe had a video or two with 100,000 views. This one is over 2 million.
Yeah, that
So-
was a behind the scenes of a skit that I filmed.
Yeah.
I had a fun idea to just film like a funny video with Ryan Bracken. I had a funny just like this was when I had my back injury, so I couldn't film skateboarding. So I just had a skit idea to film like this in like really like I'm trying like to be a try hard at fingerboarding with like heavy metal music playing. And that video did pretty well. It got like I think I got over 100,000 views, but I uploaded the behind the scenes because I didn't have a video to upload that day on my schedule. I was like, I'll just take all the old clips of my GoPro from that day of us going and looking for it. And I just titled it The Journey for Fingerboards. I think the thumbnail's garbage too. It's like, you can't even see what's going on barely. But yeah, I guess the title for some reason that just blew up. I don't know why.
That's funny.
So what was that like? What's that experience like watching this video go and just kind of break the algorithm? Now you're at 1 million views, and how did that feel?
I'll be honest. I don't know if I ever really paid it. I think it was cool, but I don't think I ever really. I think being around so many people who have that type of experience all the time, where they get those million and 100,000 views, I'm like, oh, cool, it's finally happening for me, and I may have just left it at that.
Yeah,
I don't have any like profound memory of thinking about that and being like, wow, this is really cool that this is happening, because I guess I just didn't really pay attention to the views because I didn't sit there and constantly upload it and see like how fast it was going. I would like look at it and be like, oh, it's at this now, and then I'd go skate for 3 hours and I'd come back and be like, oh, it's at this now, or something like that. And then I would just realize I'm like, oh, this video is like hitting. Next month's paycheck's gonna be pretty cool. But other than that, that's what it was, and it was probably like $100 or something. But yeah,
I'm sure $100 at that time is.
Yeah, when you're in college, I was like, heck yeah, man. I was like, cool.
I got you a couple of decks from Revive.
Yeah.
So eventually, and unlike most of our guests on this channel, you got out of YouTube and are not really active on it anymore. It looks like your latest upload was about 2 years ago. I wanted to sort of ask about the decline, at least a decline in interest to use that as your main medium for your output, for your content. What sort of got you off of YouTube? Why did you start looking elsewhere?
It's not even that I was looking elsewhere. It's that I just got burnt out from seeing, and this is kind of, I mean, the only person I can blame was myself for not uploading. That's really all it comes down to. But YouTube burnout, I'm sure you've heard it from 1,000 people. It's a thing.
Actually, we have not talked to too many people that have spoken about it. So
burnout.
I'm really interested.
I mean,
I'm really interested to hear
if anybody's
about it.
listening who watches creators and you see all their happy moments and stuff like that, every single creator on Twitch, YouTube, any outlet, news anchors, I don't know, but any person has a burnout from what they do. And that happened with me because the entire time that you see my YouTube channel, like after I leave college, I'm working at Revive full time. So like Monday through Friday, I have a job that I have to do. And although it's like me, I get to skate with the guys, like I handle the social media and I handle the skate shops that through Revive. And so if I go in there and I have 4 skate shop orders to do, like I'm not going to be able to skate for Andy's videos or anything like that. And then at the end of the day, after I'm there for 7 hours and I do skate shop orders all day, I don't want to skate because I'm tired.
Yeah.
So like that would happen. And then I'd be leaving work and then Sam would hit me up and be like, hey, dude, do you want to skate? I'm like, well, I've been at the warehouse all day. I was like, I don't want to be here for another 3 hours filming videos, because then I go home and I sleep and I wake back up and I go do it again. Yeah. So that happened through the course of 3.5 years, and trying to squeeze in YouTube videos and YouTube ideas working full time at Revive, despite like I know I have a skate park at my advantage to film these things, but when I'm only at the skate park and I don't have time to leave work and go drive somewhere or go get on a plane and go with my friends to a place because I have to work the next day. Like I can't, like YouTube's not my job. I was like, I don't have the freedom to go and travel and go places to film variety of things for my content. I just got to a point after years where I was like, I just can't upload the same thing over and over again. I think if you look at my older videos, or not my older videos, but the newerish, the ones that I uploaded skate-wise before I transitioned to Twitch, there were a lot of like challenges and stuff like that I did, like Instagram trick request challenge. So I'd post that I'd go to work and I'd post that like, hey, I'm going to film a trick request video later today. Give me your trick suggestions. Everybody on Instagram's like, you're a professional skateboarder. You can do 1,000 things. I'm like, no, I can't. I can do a kickflip on a forcer. So I get maybe 10 things. I look through all the comments and I get 10 things that I could maybe do. And I still try to push myself because, I mean, that's the content, right?
Yeah.
I'd sit there and I'd film it for 2.5 to 3 hours after I work all day and I don't land everything. I get mad and I'm like, and now I have to go home and I have to edit this together. When am I going to eat? I'm like, I don't have time to eat today if I want to get this YouTube video up. I guess I won't upload tonight. Then I feel bad that I didn't upload because I'm falling off my consistent schedule. And then I go to work the next day and I'm like, I have this whole thing and I'm already behind. I have to apologize for not uploading. And then that happened for years that I was doing it, where I would try to make a new schedule. I couldn't stick to it. I'd say, I'm sorry, I couldn't. Like, here's my new schedule. I'll make a new schedule. Couldn't stick to it. And that happened over and over and over again, to a point where I was just like, I can't do it. And the times that I wasn't uploading, if I couldn't get a video out, I would just go home and play video games for a little bit. And I'd be like, I wonder if I could stream this. I might as well. So that's kind of when I got into it. It was like 2018 time. So.
And did you ever think about like a redirection of your channel, saying, hey, I'm maybe not gonna film skating anymore, but maybe I'll make YouTube videos of me gaming?
Not on my channel that I have now, just the Casey Bechler one. I don't think I would ever just transition that into a gaming outlet. If anything, I would transition it into like a lifestyle of like, today I'm going to upload a Twitch highlight video. Today I'm going to upload, look, I did this trick. It took me 5 minutes to do it. Check it out. Like, I think I've thought a lot about what I could upload, because I have this channel and it's always in my shadow behind me whenever I'm doing things and I think about doing stuff. I know it's there, and I have this big, because I mean, the number says 119,000 people. If I upload a video, 119,000 people won't click on it. The subscriber number just kind of, it's just there, and it's really cool that I hit that milestone and stuff like that. But I think about it, and I have that as like a, what if I did randomly upload like a Twitch highlight video? How many more people would I get to come to my Twitch now?
Yeah.
If I do that, but how many people would also be mad that I uploaded a Twitch highlight video on a channel that they sub to that was a skateboarding channel? So like, I have these like thoughts in my head every time I do something.
But do you think they really subscribe because of skateboarding, or do you think they really subscribe because of you?
The nice people will say that they subscribe because of me, and the diehard fans of Revive will say that they subscribe because of me, and they will upload and watch whatever I do. It's the same people who say, hey, Casey, whatever game you play on Twitch, I will come by and I will watch it. And I go, cool. And then I play a new game and nobody comes by. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go back to what I was playing because you guys didn't come by. But like, I don't say that, but it's just, you have to think about the reality of like what you're doing. And although there are people where they will come by and they'll come see whatever I upload and stuff like that, it just, the reality of it is like, I have to stick to what is popular in order for it to be successful. You know, like I like it when it comes down to it, like I would always upload when I want to upload, but like you have to follow the trends if you're going to get clicks and you really want to grow it as a business. Which is kind of what I did. I found like a little bit of a rhythm. The full part game of skate series that I did on my channel, anytime I had a guest on, like those would always do really well. Those would get over like 10,000 views. Any day in the lives I would do did pretty well. But if I had like a, I'm just looking at my channel now, like any of my challenges, like I the perfect addition to a skate park, like no, those ones like didn't really do well and stuff like that compared to other things. So, but yeah, I don't know. I've thought about uploading a lot. I've thought about it like every other month. I probably think about like, you should just upload something, but it boils back down to me not having time to do it.
And you're balancing a lot still right now.
Yeah. Even I have a new job that I've taken on. Yeah. So yeah, like I have less time now, if anything, to upload on YouTube. So
yeah, we talked about just so let's talk a little bit about just the balance of life itself. You know, I think it really does come down to that, and the reason of change, right? Where now you're balancing, but you're getting enjoyment out of the balance.
Yeah.
And it's less stressful because it's not, you don't have to sit on Twitch and edit the video.
No, it's all just live.
Exactly.
It's like once I'm done, I'm done. And then I can go and wait till next time that I do it. I don't have to edit the VOD after.
Was that the main draw to Twitch itself, or was it simply because I'm going to be playing video games?
That's pretty much where it came from. The days that like I was tired from work and I went home, like I'd always, when I was a senior in college, I got hit by nostalgia hard of games that I used to like playing. And I bought a Nintendo DS and I got Zelda because I used to play Zelda when I was a kid. That's like, because I didn't, that whole period earlier when we talked about when I was in high school and through like the beginning of college, I wasn't playing video games. I played Skate with my friend. Like we played Skate 3 and I think I bought GTA and that was it. But those were the games I played. I didn't play video games. I didn't know the new games that were out or anything like that. But when I was a senior in high school and we were taking a trip with friends to Hilton Head to go to the beach for our spring break, I was like, I need something to play. I have a little bit of money now because I'm growing up. I was like, I need to buy something so I have something to do on the drive down there. So I bought a DS, a Nintendo DS with a Zelda game and like a Pokemon game. And then when we were going down on that trip and I started playing it, I was like, oh my God. I was like, I feel like a kid again playing these games and stuff. So by the time I got to Cincinnati, I was already playing games regularly and stuff like that. And so the days where I would leave work and come home and be bummed about my trick challenge that went awful, I would just sit there and play video games and stuff like that. So when the decision of me to go stream on Twitch, it wasn't because I was like, oh, I need a new medium to like bring people. It was like, I already play video games. Why don't I just try live streaming it? Because I have an audience already. So that's kind of what I did. Okay. I'm sure there's a video on my YouTube channel saying like, hey, I started a Twitch, go see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's on there somewhere.
It makes sense. And so now how do you find yourself as a balance? Do you see yourself like being able to manage the time that you've dedicated to it?
You mean with Twitch?
Yeah.
There is a rule that my girlfriend and I have where if we come home from whatever we're doing, or if she's working from home and she's just not feeling about going live, if we have any instinct in our body where we're like, we don't want to do it, we just don't do it. Just plain simple, just to be healthy and manage it all. Like we're just like, we're not feeling it and we're not excited for it. We just don't do it because all it's going to do is we're going to go live and then we're just going to be sad that we're like, it's like, that's going to be forced, you know?
Yeah.
But really the way it's all managed is that I made a schedule and I'm just doing my best to stick to it. I think the pressure of YouTube being gone now, like I go to work and when work's done, I have all the rest of the day to do whatever I want with time wise. I don't have to stay at the same warehouse and film skateboarding for 3 hours and get frustrated that I have to edit it in 2 hours and that I don't have time to eat. When I filmed YouTube videos, I didn't know how long something was going to take. In the days that it took me 30 minutes to do videos, I'd be stoked because I could go home and edit it fast. But there are days where I have a bad day skating and I couldn't do it. And with Twitch, it's a lot easier. It's just kind of more of like, if I'm not tired, I'm okay to play and go live and talk to people. But yeah, I don't know. I just made a schedule with Revive editing for Sam's gaming channel and then Twitch time. And I just do my best to stick to it. And I balance it out. And there are days where I'm just like, I come home and I still have to edit, or I do it so that I don't edit on the same days that I stream. Otherwise I just wouldn't have time. Like the days that if the days that I'm not streaming, I'm editing, and the days that I'm not editing, I'm streaming. I don't have like a free day ever, like even on the weekends. Like I stream Saturdays and I edit Sundays, and then Monday through Friday is Revive time. So, but yeah, no, I do my best to just stick to the schedule. And if I'm ever not feeling good, I just don't do it. And I just I need to sit and have this day be the relaxed day.
I think that creates a healthy thing, because it wasn't that way before, and you felt like if you put that rule going into it, you're not changing the rule later on and then saying, I'm just adjusting the rules to make myself happy. It's like, hey, I'm going into this because I love video games. I'm going to make it happy. And if I'm not, that's a very...
Well, I think with YouTube too, I tried the entire time working at Revive to make YouTube my job. And so I felt pressure that I need this to be successful if I want to get out of Revive and do this on my own. But with Twitch, I don't see it. It'd be cool if it became like if I blew up on Twitch and I randomly I was making enough money on Twitch somehow that I make now to sustain myself, then that'd be awesome. But when I go live on Twitch, like if I see a little bit of regression of my average viewers, I'm like, cool, maybe one day this could be a full-time thing. But like, I'm happy with what I have with Revive and editing for Sam and stuff, that like, I don't look at Twitch as a full-time job. I look at it as just like a side hobby. While it's with YouTube, I was really trying to like make that a full-time thing. And when I wasn't uploading, it was just me kicking myself and being like, man, you're blowing it. I was like, a day you don't upload, it's a day that you're not going to get a couple more people seeing your videos. So
do the principles that you took from YouTube and the growth on a channel, do they like transfer to Twitch growth, or is it a totally different algorithm and path?
You mean like do the way I grow on YouTube versus the way I grow on Twitch, is it different?
Yeah, like YouTube, it's not simple, right? It's consistency.
Yeah.
It's finding your way within the
Thumbnails,
community.
titles, and consistency.
Exactly.
That's what YouTube is.
Yeah, and so like if you can get them and how long they watch your videos, so it's like if you get that down, you can grow your channel very quickly.
Yep.
Or if you're just consistent as all heck, we've talked to many people who are like, yeah, I was posting video for 7 years before I got 10,000 subscribers, and so
and there's people like that on Twitch too. There's people who you see. So the thing on Twitch that every person goes for is to get partner, which gets you the little check. Which I guess, like, thinking about it now, like, there's so many, even as an affiliate, which is what I am, I don't have the little verification check mark, but like Twitch has made it so much better for newer people on there who are growing. But like back in the day on Twitch, you had to have an average of 500 viewers for like 30 days on your channel to even get a subscription button. And now to get a subscription button, you have to stream 30 days in a row, have an average of 3 viewers, and have like 100 followers or something like that. It's a way easier, but back in the day on Twitch, it was much smaller of a thing. They couldn't pay out people and stuff like that. But the growth on it is it's a little different. I don't know. I don't really look at it in terms of YouTube. Like I don't look at it the same way, and the growth on it, so it's a little different.
It sounds like they're
were you able to use your YouTube channels? I know you have a channel also called the Z Button with your friend.
Yeah. I haven't uploaded. We haven't uploaded on that in forever. That was just a passion project that we did before Twitch. I was like, I think that was the phase that we first uploaded on. That was the same time where I was thinking about transitioning to. I think that was when I first started Twitch. Was when the Z Button was going on, and I knew that was. I mean, that might have been the time that I was like starting YouTube burnout. And I was like, I was trying new ideas because I was like, my channel is just too much to try a gaming channel, because I watched gaming channels. Kind of like how I started a YouTube channel. It's because I watched YouTube channels,
Yep.
Or like I watched skateboarding YouTube channels. I'm going to try my own. I watched gaming YouTube channels. I'm going to try my own out because I have an audience. So I tried the Z Button for a couple years, and that also just came down to time. Like my friend Ryan and I who uploaded on it, we worked. He works at Revive too. He's Andy's old friend. Him and I had the idea of starting a gaming channel, and he just was like, heard me talking about it, and he was like, I'll do it with you. Sure. Why not?
Nice.
He was just all about like, I didn't really know him that well. He wasn't a super close friend of mine back then. I mean, we're like close friends now and stuff. But yeah, we just had that. He just approached me, and I was like, sure. Cause he started a podcast with Andy back in the day. It was called Strike Back. I don't think they do it anymore. They don't upload on there that much anymore. But yeah, no, I think we were just starting projects, and he just wanted to be on it. So we started doing that, and that was my gaming outlet that I did, as well as streaming on Twitch as much as I could. But
so what I was sort of getting at was the question of, were you able to use your followings on YouTube channels to bring those over to your Twitch streaming, or did you have to totally start that like organically from scratch? And if so, how do you do that? Because that requirement to get a subscription button is really steep. That sounds really difficult to build that.
Twitch started for me in like 2015, but not how it is now. When I had my back injury from skateboarding, where I was out for 8 months and I couldn't skate, I randomly decided to be like, because I'm sitting at home, I'm like, what can I do? I was like, I'll just play Mario on stream with my laptop from college and just stream it. I didn't have a face cam or anything like that. I just was like, I went on my like Twitter or Instagram, and I was like, hey, I'm live on Twitch if you guys want to come watch. And I think I streamed 1 or 2 times that year, and then I never streamed until like 2018. So that initial time that I went live and I told people to go follow my Twitch there, I probably got a little over 1,000 followers on Twitch, maybe, which is pretty good. Yeah. Considering that I've been doing Twitch now like seriously for 2 years, and I've maybe gotten like 2,000 followers, which is awesome. But I got an initial push that probably helped me get affiliate pretty quickly. And some people from my YouTube channel came by and followed and like would be in my Twitch chat and say hi and stuff. But I would say about like 90% of the people in my Twitch chat in 2021, they're not from my YouTube. They're from my Twitch. So there's definitely a balance, or like in the beginning, like a 50-50 shot of people who came from my YouTube versus new people. But nowadays, with the variety of games and stuff that I've played and the new people who have come by, they don't know about my YouTube or anything like that. Yeah. I've gotten people come by to my stream and be like they'll see me and be like, hey, your Twitch stream was recommended, and they'll start watching me, and I'll just be talking like how I'm talking now, like while playing Minecraft or something, and I'd mention like work at Revive. They'd be like, wait, are you Casey from Revive? And I'm like, yep. They're like, oh, cool, I watch all of Andy's videos, and then that like kind of that connects them. But yeah, it's definitely there. Initially, there's a lot of people who probably came by from YouTube when I started Twitch, but nowadays it's different. It's not the same people. So it's almost like I started from scratch, but like at the same time, I had a push from myself of followers too, who don't really come by anymore, but except like 10% of people.
Yeah. So you talked about the transition that you've kind of made on the YouTube side, which is you were the star of your own channel, and now you're transitioning to being kind of a cast member of sorts on multiple channels. And
yeah.
And so you're still very involved with YouTube. Yeah. But it's not just necessarily yours. So
I think people just assumed I quit skating because I don't upload on YouTube. It's like, no, dude. It's like I skate every day, and it's on my Instagram. I just don't upload on YouTube anymore. Like they're like I see the comments in Andy's, like I've never really read comments because YouTube is just toxic. There are the good people who we talked about like before the podcast, like who come by, who are always there, and we appreciate you, and your comments are very nice. But when the one comment that's mean, they comment, it sticks with you a lot more than the nice comments do. And so I don't really read too many comments. But the ones that I see on Andy's channel, and like if I ever comment on Andy or Sam's video that I'm in, and I'll be like, yo, this was fun, I'll get replies, and those replies are notifications to my phone, and a lot of those are like, yo, why don't you upload anymore? And I'm just like, it's like, it's been like I just it's I'm a broken record if I repeat it. I just don't reply to them. I have a thing on Twitch where if people go into my chat and it's called command YouTube, which is an exclamation point YouTube, a little prompt will come up in my chat that says why I don't upload anymore. Because it got asked so many times. Be like, hey, why don't you upload anymore? It's like, just do command YouTube, it'll tell you. But yeah, I definitely I see the comments, and I'm happy to be part of everyone's videos still. I'm the same guy almost like before I started my YouTube channel when I was in Andy and Sam's videos that I'm like now. Like I'm with them in their videos and stuff, but I just don't have my own channel anymore.
It's got to be fun. There's no pressure, right? You get to have fun, and you're just doing exactly what got you into skating, which is like just enjoying time with your friends, and you guys have a great skate park to skate. So it's like,
the times that we like filmed Warehouse Wednesday when I was uploading like the intros and stuff for me being goofy or whatever, they're like the same that I am now. I just don't like if people click on my name. I just haven't uploaded in 2 years versus a week ago, you know?
Yeah. And so, just talking about Instagram. So you recently have been doing a 360 flip a day.
Yeah. I don't know where that came from. I don't know. Yeah. I just was like, I think at the beginning of the year, I was doing 3 flips, and I was like, I hate my 3 flips. I was like, I just want to get better at them. I see everybody else's 360 flips, and they look so good. So I was just like, I'm just going to upload. And a way I kind of look at it is I kind of have the engagement that I did with like YouTube almost, if people are from YouTube who watch my skating still, because there's people who could care less about my gaming highlights that I upload and stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, the way I've always looked at Instagram, it's not like a business to try to grow. I just have always uploaded that as for fun, and whatever I feel like posting, I post. And so I don't know, I just had an idea to upload a tray flip a day just for fun, and I just want to see if I can do it. And if the first month of tray flips are just as the same as the last 12 month or the 12th month of tray flips, then I had made no progress and it was still fun. But I'm just hoping that it makes my 360 flips better.
I'm excited to see the progress. I didn't know it was going to be all year. That'll be cool.
I say that like it'd be cool if it was, but like I'm sure in 2 months, if COVID stuff stops happening, like I'm sure eventually later this year I'd like to travel to go actually meet my girlfriend's parents, because we have yet to do that because of COVID stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So but like anything, like not even that, just like going and traveling in general, like I'm sure I'm not going to bring my skateboard with me, so there's going to be days that I miss. But it'd be cool, we'll see how long I can go. If I could do it all year, that'd be cool. But
throwing down in the middle of like, Orlando airport or whatever.
But here's the thing, like I don't want to go on a trip and bring my skateboard and do it, like bring my skateboard and have it cost money just to film one trick.
Yeah.
If anything, I would probably film like 5 in a row in one day and upload one a different day. Because even now, like if you look at January's, there was like in the beginning, I uploaded 5 days worth of stuff that I missed. Because I started doing that on January 5th, I think. So I had to make up for the last 5 days that I missed. And then this past weekend, it's Cincinnati, so it was like really rainy and crappy. And so I couldn't go out and skate on Sunday. So I just filmed 2 on Saturday and I uploaded the Sunday one. It was the same thing. Like I'm not trying to be like oh my God, Casey, you missed this day where this whole challenge ruins. It's like I'm just doing it for fun. I could care less if I missed 2 weeks. Like I'll make up for it. I'll post 14 in one day or something.
That'd be awesome. Just blast all the comments away.
Yeah,
here's the 14. Here
if there are any, I'm sure there's one guy out there who's gonna be really pissed that I missed day 101 or something.
I'm sure. Yeah, but you know what? He'll get over it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that kind of sums up the YouTube for me, at least. And I have 2 final things. One of them is the subscriber and follower questions. We actually got a pretty good amount. I'm super stoked about that.
I completely forgot. I was like, wait, we haven't even. I was like, you said Q&A, and I was like, oh yeah.
That's kind of how we end it. And Drew, do you want to drop the final question? You did it last week.
Before I do that, I just want to mention that I am very impressed by one of your Instagram followers who claimed that they got 120 stars in Super Mario 64 in under 11 hours. So shout out to Toadsworthy for that, because I was blown away by
Toads
that
did
comment.
that? I met Toadsworthy when I streamed Animal Crossing. He got 120. Oh, wow. I thought about I've been watching Mario 64 speedruns a lot.
I'm just
lately.
A messenger, but you know,
Toadsworthy, like, if you hear this, I'm very proud of you. 120 in 11 hours. That's really cool. I thought about speed running Zelda Breath of the Wild, but I also was like, I heard a lot of speedrunners, games are ruined for them permanently because all they do is think about how they could speed run it. They can't just they can't sit down and enjoy a game. So I'm like, I don't want that to happen to me.
Yeah, that has happened to me with Crash Bandicoot. That was my game growing up, was Crash Bandicoot Warped and Crash Bandicoot Cortex Revenge. I personally think that Crash Team Racing's better than Mario 64 Racing.
Ooh. Yes. Drew would second that.
I love Crash Team Racing, dude. It's so fun.
So fun. But yeah, this in Crash Bandicoot Warped, you can go back and do like speed racing through, and
just try to
that's
do
all
the
I
time
focus
trial
on
and
now.
stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want speed running to ruin games for me. So I was like, I'm not gonna speed run my favorite game of all time.
Yeah, that's a slippery slope, I could imagine.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna think about every game, and you're like, how can I get?
Like when I'm playing, you're like, how can I do this better? And I'm like, I don't want that. I like to sit down and soak it in. So.
Well, usually we ask, what are you watching on YouTube now? But I guess since we're talking about gaming, what are you really enjoying playing right now?
Right now, it's kind of a dull. January is always a dull time for games, but right now on stream, I got back into Minecraft, which I'm sure whoever's listening, I'm sure you know what Minecraft is. I didn't play it for the first time until August of 2019. My Twitch chat was like, you need to play this. And I'm like, it doesn't look fun to me. You need to play this. I was like, no, I don't want to play it. And then in August of 2019, there was just a dull time for games where I didn't have anything to play. And I was like, you know what? I'll play it. And I played it and I got hooked. It's like so hard. It's just, you have an idea to do one thing and it's like, oh, but you need these 4 things to do that. And you're like, okay, let me go get those 4 things. And then the third thing's like, oh no, but you need these 2 things to get the third thing. And then 3 hours pass and you're like, oh. And so that's what Minecraft is. And recently I just had been, I played it for a month and then a new game came out in 2019 and I just forgot about it. And then recently I got back into it just because I was looking for something to stream. And I was like, I've never really beaten Minecraft. Like there's a way to get to the title or the credits. And I was like, I've never done that. It'd be fun if I tried doing that. So right now I'm just playing Minecraft, and then off stream I'm watching my girlfriend play Horizon Zero Dawn while I just kind of goof around on like Animal Crossing or something. But like I play for a little bit and then I put it down. So
you guys stream in the same location?
Yeah, her office. Well, we share an office, but her computer is back here. And then this is like she does a lot of art stuff on her stream, like digital art, and then her desk right here is her traditional art stuff, like painting and stuff like that.
Cool.
I have my one table here, and then just like my collection things right here, like my 100K YouTube thing is right there.
Yeah,
I have that displayed as it's like, oh, you used to YouTube. I'm like, yep, sure did.
But you earned that plaque. You should display
I display it. It's cool.
Proudly.
I'm very proud of it still to this day. So, Yeah, no, she's playing a game right now, and I just watch her play when I'm not streaming, and then when I stream, it's usually Minecraft, and then I want to play Demon Souls too. So
No idea what that is.
it's
So.
a very annoyingly hard game.
Okay.
Where it's just like they don't hold your hand, and if you get hit by like a starter enemy, you die immediately and you have to restart.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that would be one that people would want to watch because maybe they get tips on it or something. Is that like a
that's one of those games where I'm like, hey guys, hey Twitch stream, I want to play this game. Would you guys come see me play it? And they'd be like, yeah, Casey, we'll watch you play anything. And then I'm gonna stream it. We'll see what happens. So it's like, oh guys, I was gonna stream this. Let's just go back to Minecraft. You guys seem to like this.
So we got a pretty good amount of questions. I picked a couple. I think a lot of them we answered during this, but this one,
cool.
And I always say this because there's a chance I'm going to butcher your name. I apologize.
Welcome to be a streamer. It's like, well, thank you for the follow. I'm just going to call you C. That's pretty much what I say. I'm like, I don't know how to say that.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to do this live. That'd be a hectic ability.
I should have just gone live and be like, hey guys, I'm doing a podcast. Listen in. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
You could have.
Meanwhile,
yeah.
I did not stream today. Maybe next time if I'm on again, I'll if you guys want an update when I'm no longer a streamer and I'm a YouTuber again.
Hey,
yeah, count us in.
Maybe we'll be on Twitch at that point.
Yeah, there you go.
But when I'm gonna come out to Cincinnati in the summer and see Drew, and then we can.
Cool.
Yeah,
as long as it's all safe, I'm happy. I'm ready to see people.
I'm hoping that is the same. So Luke.Barner3, he asked, do you have a dream trick that you would like to learn?
I have.
That's a good question.
I was discussing this with my friend Alex today, Alex Buting, who works at Revive too. He was like, Casey, I think I'm going to learn Nollie Crook soon. And I was like, I have 3 tricks that I really like that I'll never be able to do. And it is a backside tail slide, which is a very standard sliding trick. I just will never be able to do it. I don't understand it, but I like backside tail slides. Nollie crooked grinds, I think look really cool. That I could potentially do because I can nollie and I can crook, but for some reason I can't do the two together. And then big spin board slides on handrails, I think look really cool. Which I don't know if you guys know anything about these tricks, but
Ooh, maybe.
I think specifically big spin board slides to fakies on handrails, like not big spin board slides flat bars, but on a handrail specifically. The motion of it all just looks very fluid.
Yeah.
I am not a handrail skater ever since I sacked a rail in a Revive video. I was like, I'm no longer skating rails. I had a period where I was like I was getting more confident with jumping on rails, but all I ever did was try to board slide them or feeble them. And they took me to a rail one time because at that time period, Andy was like, yo, let's take you to this rail. You can try to board slide. And I was like, yo, let's do it. And then I tried to do it. And I stuck it. And then like one of the next attempts, I like sacked it. And then since then I've been not skating rails anymore.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
But yeah, so those are 3 tricks that a nollie crook is probably the one I could do the most out of all those. If I just commit and stop being a little baby, I could probably do it. But yeah, no, big spin board slides on handrails and then backside tails are really cool.
Nigel makes the big spin board slide on a handrail look like
he makes
butter.
He makes anything look good. I'm not good, but he makes it. He could do anything, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he skates very stiffly, but I mean, obviously, I can't talk crap on his skating because he's like one of the best skateboarders in the world. So,
well, maybe you could take those tricks, and once you start to say, hey, my 3 flips have gotten so good, maybe you can say, hey, this month I'm gonna do nollie crook.
Next year is the year of the back tail.
Ooh, the year of the back tail.
Here's the thing: I know how to do 360 flips, just not well. I don't know if I'll be able to do a back tail every day in 2022.
Never know until 2022. So tune in.
Yeah.
So I think this is a question that it's kind of random, but Dehan Joe Pay asked, do you watch anime? And if so, what are your favorite characters?
I didn't. So when I was little, I watched Dragon Ball Z. Sporadically, I didn't follow it. I just watched it when it was on. I thought it was really cool. But it wasn't until when I met my girlfriend that she got me into watching some animes. I was never against it. I just didn't. I just don't watch TV shows really. But she showed me a couple of shows. But the one that we've really stuck through is one called Fruits Basket. which is really cool. She showed me a lot of animes that were like slice of life animes, and that's kind of one. It's not really, as we've gotten more into the show, it's more there's a lot more happening, but it's very like slice of lifey, where it's just like people going to school and it just looks really cool, animated and stuff. And then we started Naruto as well. Naruto. We got into a few seasons of that, and then there's like literally 700 to 800 episodes of it, and so
Whoa,
I got intimidated and we stopped for a little bit, but I'm sure we'll go back to it now that we finished the 2 seasons of Fruits Basket that's been out. So I know a lot of people might think whoever asked that, they may not like the answer of Fruits Basket because it's not like a traditional like sword fighting punching type of anime. It's a very like, when I say slice of life, like it's about a person who meets these people who are possessed by zodiac spirits, and then that's it. And that's pretty much the premise of the show.
well,
And that's about it. There's no like crazy fighting or anything like that. They just go to school and then they deal with that, and then that's it. So
I feel like anime is a pretty wide genre, though. It's not always going to be like Dragon Ball Z-esque fighting. But
I told her I wanted to watch Attack on Titan, and she was very intimidated by that because I guess the show is very like gnarly and gory, and the monsters are super gross looking and like giant, and it's like people die a lot, and it's just like, I don't know, it sounds cool to me. I was like, sure. That's a very popular one. Attack on Titan's a very popular one. It's like up there with like DBZ. Not as mainstream, but like one of the mainstreamier ones. So
So the last question I'll ask is from, and I'm sorry to all the others. I had a couple else that were here, but this one is very not normal from the questions that we asked, but I thought it was an interesting one, right? So
sure.
Andrew_the Hut, he asked, if you could time travel as a ghost to haunt someone, who would it be?
If I could time travel as a ghost to haunt somebody?
Yeah.
I would time travel to the decision of Logan Paul coming to OU.
Whoa.
And make sure that he didn't go to OU.
That is
his life wouldn't change, but then he just wouldn't have gone to my school. That being said, I do think he's a much better person now, like I said earlier, and I would not want to go back and haunt anybody. But how about we just make Logan go to? How about OU's rival school is Miami University? He can go to Miami. How about that? That would be very fitting. And he can film his vines there.
Yeah,
Send
only
him
for
down
the
to Oxford.
Choice.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I appreciate that. That right there is where I'll leave it. And I had a great time talking to you, learning a lot about the transition of your channel and the growth of your channel. And congratulations on that plaque. You 100% earned it. And
I mean, maybe one day I'll upload again and I'll hit 1 million or something like that. I mean, it just comes down to time, and I don't think with the formula that is YouTube and how you gain popularity on it, I think I would be one of those slow burns of people you hear about who upload for 6 years and they hit 10,000 subs. Like maybe I'll upload once a month soon or something. You know what I should have done is uploaded my 360 flips a day on YouTube. Just be like, I'm fine. You want uploads again? I'll upload a 5-second clip every day.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do that, but no,
we need to swing the pendulum back in that direction of just short clips like it was back in 2011.
Vertical videos with the black bar. Go back to my roots.
Everything's a pendulum. It's gotta swing back sometime.
It'll come back.
Yeah, no, it's been YouTube's cool. I have nothing against it. Obviously, I make a living from being a part of YouTube culture and stuff like that. But I like my stream. If it wasn't for YouTube and how I learned to talk to a camera, which is what I'm doing, I probably wouldn't be as fluid as I am on Twitch and stuff. But I like Twitch. It's more. I always tell people on Twitch that it feels like more of a community there than YouTube ever did. Obviously, there's people who you know who you are if you're from my YouTube and you're in my Twitch channel now. I appreciate them, but like every time I go live on Twitch and I see the same 10, 15, 20 people come by and I recognize each and every one of their names, I'm like, oh, this is much more of a community than YouTube ever was. Who like people who would just drop by and go like, hi, first, second, first, haha. Like I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I like Twitch.
Well, I'll have to drop by and check it out once and just have it on while I work. I'll definitely do that in the next coming week.
I'll be working on my Minecraft house before having to go fight a block dragon. So
I've never
Awesome.
actually played Minecraft, so it'll be the way you described it sounded very interesting. So maybe that'll be my intro to.
yeah,
But
I mean, there's so many. Minecraft is such a big game, and there's so many different ways to play it. But I don't know what I'm doing, and every time I have a question, I have to ask my chat, like, hey, what do I do to do this? And they usually tell me. But I like games where I can just design a world on my own, and Minecraft's kind of perfect for that. Like I said, I played Animal Crossing in my free time. I have like 800 hours in that game. I just like having a clean slate of something that I can work on, and then once I design it and I'm proud of it, then I delete it and I redo it again.
wow,
Which is kind of like what Minecraft is. So
It's like the Tibetan monks that make the sand mandalas spend like weeks making them. You ever heard of those guys?
no, and then they
You ever
what?
heard
And then they get rid of it and make it again.
Oh yeah, they did it in Cincinnati a few years ago actually, but they do this amazing, really intricate process, and they
I didn't
make
know we
these
had
mandalas
sand
that
in
are
Cincinnati. That's cool.
well. When I say sand, I mean like art sand. So
Yeah, I know
these guys like they have these giant cones that are just full of sand, and the cones come down to a small point that's like the size of a
like a needle.
ballpoint pen or like a fountain pen or something, and then they have a little stick and they tap the end of it so the sand gently comes out. They spend weeks doing this on these mandalas that are hugely complex and like maybe
That's
15
crazy.
feet in diameter. And then when they're done, they just wash it in the river. It's great.
whoa,
It's great.
What a
It's
flex.
awesome.
Be like, yeah, we don't
Yes,
care about
it's
this, whatever.
awesome.
And then they just
Exactly.
leave and they're never in Cincinnati again. That's so cool.
Exactly. It's awesome. That's a great mindset.
Every Cincinnati person's like, who were those guys?
just put all this sand in the river.
Yeah.
You
How dare they?
know? Well, hey man, I appreciate it. Everything will be below, so follow him on Twitch. We'll put his
Yeah,
Instagram,
come say hi.
follow the 360 flips a day, and then
Yeah, that's cool too.
and follow his YouTube.
Check out my YouTube. I mean, I might again, like I said, I might upload. You never know. I had a couple bitches to like edit a video together, and then I think about how long it's going to take to edit, and I'm like, I don't want to do it. So
Yeah, but you never know because unless they subscribe, they won't get the notification that you
since
post.
I have stopped uploading, I have gotten 7,000 subscribers.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I stopped uploading when I was at 112K, and I just looked and I'm at 119K.
119, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey
I
man,
don't know. I'm sure I'd upload, and then people are like, wait, I'm subscribed to this guy, and then it'll go back down to 112.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate the time today and everything's
thanks,
in
Casey.
the bio below. Thanks,
yeah, it was
guys.
fun. Bye.